Taurine might just be the next creatine. Listen to this, guys. This is a pretty incredible molecule. You guys have heard the research on creatine, exercise benefits, sleep benefits, probably benefits when you're sleep deprived at higher doses. I did a whole video about why you might want to consider supplementing with higher doses of creatine as high as 20 grams per day. But did you know there's an amino acid found in meat and animal foods called taurine that has pretty incredible benefits also? I think people are just going to be talking more and more about taurine because here's the deal. What if I told you there was a compound that occurs naturally in meat that you could supplement with that's pretty safe, doesn't have a lot of side effects, maybe GI side effects at high doses, that lowers blood pressure, systolic and diastolic, improves endothelial function in diabetics, decreases multiple markers of metabolic syndrome, including fasting glucose, fasting insulin, blood pressure metrics. All of these are improved with taurine supplementation in randomized controlled trials in humans, but it doesn't stop there. In exercise scenarios, taurine supplementation at doses of 1 to 6 grams right before the exercise, total time to exhaustion extended at 10+%, and blood lactate levels lowered as much as 16.5%. Body temperature rise was also attenuated when people were exercising to exhaustion. And if you minimize the rise in body temperature, you can exercise longer. So maybe creatine is beneficial for strength training, but taurine has multiple data points in randomized controlled trials in humans now suggesting that it is beneficial for endurance exercise from multiple perspectives. There was a really big study in 2023, got a lot of press across multiple species, showing that taurine declined with aging, and taurine supplementation actually extended the lifespan of mice. Now, recently, more data has come out that taurine might not necessarily decline as humans age, but whether or not taurine supplementation could extend lifespan or improve quality of life in humans remains to be seen. There are a lot of people in the longevity space supplementing with taurine. For instance, my friend, and yeah, I would consider Brian Johnson a friend. I've hung out with him. We disagree about some things, but he supplements with taurine. I continue to think that Brian, you should just eat some meat for taurine and creatine. Nevertheless, his team feels like taurine has beneficial data with regard to longevity. Interestingly, Brian supplements with a lot of stuff that he could just get from meat. I'm gonna keep working on him for now. So let's talk about taurine in foods first and where you can get this valuable amino acids in food. I'm always thinking about where I can get valuable compounds like this in food. As you guys know, with creatine, it's exclusively found in animal foods. Most of us don't eat the kilogram of meat required to get enough creatine per day, so supplementation is probably beneficial. Taurine is kind of the same way. Taurine occurs only in animal foods. Yet another argument against a vegan or vegetarian diet. If you know someone that's a vegan or vegetarian, please send them this video because there are so many of these compounds that occur only in animal foods that make our lives better. Vegan and vegetarian diets don't make sense in any way, shape, or form. Regardless, the best source of taurine in animal foods is beef cheeks. I had no idea. As it turns out, in animal foods, slow twitch muscle has more taurine. Taurine is involved in calcium handling, osmolyte regulation in muscles, and taurine helps regulate electrolytes within muscles, especially muscles involved in endurance exercise. This makes sense that taurine would improve endurance outcomes, so slow twitch muscle is going to have more taurine. Dark meat chicken has more taurine than light meat chicken. So dark meat chicken has 100 to 150 milligrams of taurine per 100 grams of chicken. Regular beef has about 50 to 100 milligrams of taurine per 100 grams of beef. Beef cheeks, 370 milligrams of taurine per 100 grams because cows are chewing all day long. They are ruminants. They're chewing all day long, and that means that that muscle in the cheek, the masseter muscle, must have a lot of taurine. So the best source of taurine is beef cheeks. And yes, I apologize in advance because all of the butchers in the United States are now going to be sold out of beef cheeks. I stocked up. I've got a freezer downstairs full of beef cheeks. I'm ready. Go to the store right now, buy some beef cheeks. But understand this, when you cook meat, that's gonna degrade the taurine. Cooking meat in water is gonna leach the taurine into the water that you're cooking the meat in. So if you're going to boil or stew your meat, you're gonna have to drink that broth or you're gonna lose the taurine. Dry cooking, grilling is gonna preserve the taurine, but don't overcook your meat. So here's another argument for cooking your meat medium rare or even rare. If you wanna do some taurine maxing, you're gonna eat rare meat. So be that as it may, that's why I eat medium rare or rare hamburgers, rare steaks. And sometimes I even do beef tartare. And the best food on the planet for taurine would be beef tartare made with beef cheeks. I'm gonna make that and show you guys a picture of it in another video because that's gonna be exciting. So when it comes to food sources of taurine, think organs, liver and heart are also good sources. Think beef cheeks, think dark meat chicken. Think about muscles in an animal that get used all the time, that are slow twitch muscles. A flat iron steak or a skirt steak is also gonna have above average levels of taurine because it is a slow twitch muscle in cows. So I am not supplementing with taurine now, because I try to get as much taurine as I can from my foods. But if you want to supplement with taurine, the evidence shows that it's a pretty safe supplement. This is 1,000 milligrams of taurine. Studies have been done with 1 to 6 grams, so 1,000 to 6,000 milligrams of taurine per day. The main issue seems to be gut tolerance, GI tolerance. Doses above 3 grams of taurine might cause GI upset, so see what happens. Unlike creatine, there is no loading effect with taurine. So a single dose of taurine supplementation prior to exercise shows benefits in humans. So you probably don't need to load taurine. And though there are no randomized controlled trials on this that have been published, there are a couple underway, there is a clear mechanism by which taurine activates GABA A receptors and may activate the glycine receptor to have an anxiolytic effect, that is calming anxiety. There are a lot of anecdotal reports online of people using taurine at doses of 1 to 3 grams per day for anxiety. So if you are someone that has anxiety, it might be also interesting to supplement your diet with taurine or to eat more animal foods, especially beef cheeks, to get a food source of taurine. Incidentally, in people with major depression, there are lower levels of taurine seen by magnetic resonance spectroscopy in some regions of the brain. Whether or not this is a causal association remains to be seen, but I think that taurine, an amino acid only found in animal foods, has so many benefits. And again, this is a clear indication that these unique animal-based nutrients are essential for humans to thrive. If you guys are taking magnesium, there is a form of magnesium called magnesium taurate that may also kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I did a whole separate video on magnesium, different types of magnesium, where to get magnesium in your food. So I'll put a link to that video if you want to know all about magnesium. But if you supplement with magnesium and you also want the benefits of taurine, you might try a magnesium taurate supplement. If you guys like information like this, if you want to know what I'm thinking about every week, check out my newsletter. It's free. It comes out every Sunday. And I'm always going to put in there something that I'm really thinking about that's interesting, something kind of cutting edge, something that I don't think you're gonna see elsewhere. So it's a very high value newsletter. I'll put a link here to sign up. It's at my website, paulsaladinomd.com. And I hope you guys find value in that. I'm definitely gonna be talking about taurine in my newsletter pretty soon. Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. You're gonna say, wait, there is something good in energy drinks. Well, yes, energy drinks do often contain taurine. And the reason they contain the taurine is because the caffeine in here can be quite stimulating for people. The caffeine might cause anxiety. So at least anecdotally, again, they're putting taurine in energy drinks, maybe for energy benefits, but also as an anxiolytic, kind of calm the effects of the caffeine in these energy drinks. As you guys know, I'm no fan of energy drinks. I talked about that ad nauseum in the past, but they got one thing right with energy drinks with the taurine, but there's much better ways to get taurine without having to drink something garbage like this. We know that organs are a great source of taurine as well. Heart, liver, all these organs are rich sources of taurine. A lot of you guys don't want to eat organs. If that's the case, check out Heart and Soil. This is a company I built. We make desiccated organ capsules with grass-fed, grass-finished organs. This one is my favorite. It happens to have testicle in the capsule, which is useful for male type things, improving testosterone potentially related to microRNA. Reviews on this one are amazing. We should do a little experiment to see how much taurine is in testicles. Probably a lot. So I really think taurine is the next creatine. I think that taurine is potentially one of the single most valuable supplements that not a lot of people are taking right now. A lot of people have jumped on the creatine train. That's amazing. I think people are finding benefits from that. And I think that we are going to see in the next few months to years, more and more people talking about creatine. And that, like creatine, leads us back to meat and animal foods. So let me know in the comments, guys, are you supplementing with taurine? What have you seen as benefits? Online, I've seen a lot of people saying there are benefits in terms of even gregariousness, talking to people. Maybe with Heart and Soil, we'll make a beef cheek supplement soon. Who knows? That's kind of a joke. But I am definitely making beef cheek tartare these days. How are you guys getting your taurine? I'll see you in the next video.